Why, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is still Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. Earlier today, I mentioned that my internet service provider, Cox Communications, was performing maintenance and had performed maintenance, and I warned that potentially the service would go down while I'm streaming. Sure enough, it went down while I was streaming and came back relatively quickly, but it didn't come back fully. The upload rate was awful at the start there. It didn't get better until about noon-ish, and it stayed better the rest of the time. So I'm pretty sure all the work is now finished. I'm pretty sure all the work is now finished and that we are good to go to stream the rest of our stream today. Had I known the exact timing of when the folks would be out to do their work, I would have pushed back the stream to start now or canceled it altogether. But it is what it is. Things are the way that things are. And so we are going to continue for 2 hours until about 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. It is currently 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern time, the time that I would usually end my stream. And this does mean that we're going to get a little bit more time for streaming today because of these issues. Where were we? Where did we leave off? I was working on Super Steel. I was working on obtaining my Super Steel. Also, I am in fact joined by Dolly, my pretty Dolly. And I am joined by Ollie. He's off on the desk next to me, also sleeping rather comfortably. It is nap time for the kitties. Alright. Set up the sand castings and now have the Mark II fuel rods for this molten super steel. Next up comes the 2 belts that will bring in 4 of these items. There are 6 items. I need another belt. I need another belt. What do I want on that outside belt? I want the Molly Neo. So I want this to be Molly and Neo. That will be first. We're going to grab this, paste it there, get the power going. Request Molly at Super Steel. Enter. There we go. Request the Neo at Super Steel. I will most likely be switching this to the mix recipes, the more efficient mix recipes, once I am able to get into yellow cake to make the Mark V fuel rods. Because as it turns out, we need Mark V fuel rods in order to make the molten steel when using the alloy mix stuff. This one is Molly. Molly is here. Right there. Molly and Neo. Neo is in there. Glorious! Molly and Neo. There we go. Next. Does not necessarily matter what in terms of overall throughput here. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. We can have the vanadium and the cobalt oxide and the silicon and titanium. Oh, the titanium is much higher throughput. So, as I said, it doesn't really matter because we got the stack inserter on both sides. So we'll just go with it as we see fit. Whatever's listed first, pretty much. Now, as long as I don't die, we'll be good. As long as I don't get hit by a train. To delay things even further. This one is going there. This one is going there. There's one left for Aramid. Yeah, should not have done that way. Yeah, cause you. Dang it. I wasn't exactly thinking about things. This should have been Aramid. This should have been a shared. This should have been a shared. And this should have been a shared, but whatever. I'll just do it this way. Those undergrounds need to be there no matter what, so make use of them. Make use of the distance. Make maximal use of the distance. Ta-da. Better. Saving of resources. At least some. Okay. Let's start with you. Our Aramid at Super Steel. Just so that I don't forget Aramid. And also so that I do not forget fluids. I needs the fluids as well before we are done. But that's going to bring the Aramid. This will bring the titanium at Super Steel. Let there be titanium. Titanium is something that I will need to scale soon. And it's going to be slightly different. Request silicon at Super Steel. Because, so, titanium, I'm not actually planning on doing the full high-grade process for. Let me just get these last two typed out. Vanadium. And cobalt oxide. Excuse me? Oh, I have not defined. I have not defined the cobalt oxide. D cobalt oxide. Oh, I haven't put a locomotive at all. Okay. Go away stuff. Let me look up there. Oh yeah, there's just no locomotive. Okay. Hey, Twain. I need a Twain. Let there be Twain. Yeah, you cobalt oxide. Supply depot full cargo. Circuit condition. Go! Be free! Yeah, so I was saying about the titanium. Do I still have the comparison? I don't think so, no. Unfortunate. So, what I'm going to do with titanium is I'm going to have some high grade and some titanium enriched dust that I am going to process in here. The reason for that is that I don't want to further process the titanium enriched dust because it will require a lot of grease. It will require an absolute ton of grease that I'm not willing to spend. It is a not insignificant amount of grease. It improves the output rather considerably, but even without doing that, I'm still getting 200 molten titanium out for 30 ore in to do it this way. And I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. I can make the MIBC, and I've got the biofilm to spare, and the sulfuric, and all of the other stuff here. I can do all of that other stuff, but grease is expensive, so I want to avoid it with titanium in this circumstance. If I wasn't as concerned about the production of titanium, or the production of grease, I should say, I would be more inclined to go further down on the titanium, but that's about it. And at this point, I think only like Nexalit is the only other thing that I would go like past like quote unquote green science level into like high grade and pulps and all of that. I mean, obviously with chromium, we have to go further down the chain to make gold. Obviously, with silver, the improvement is huge. You need to go down to high grade for your silver. For zinc, it's saving a ton of iron sticks to go down the high grade route. With tin, you get a lot of molten output by comparison to the previous processes. Aluminium has the Simics that save the entire intro to the process, and it's only one step away from high grade. I can't really think of a great reason to go high grade iron, to go high grade copper. I mean, I guess have I done nickel? I haven't done high grade nickel at all, because with nickel what I've done is just the regular process, processing more ore. I wasn't able to really justify that much extra stuff to spend on the nickel. I'll have a look at it, but I have already built a thing this is given 150 molten nickel out of, yeah, a ton of ore, don't get me wrong. That's 8 belts there, 8 red belts. So we'll see as we go on what I ultimately decide here. So what do I need to continue with this? I will need the molten stainless, and I will need hot air, and I will need benzene. So what are we doing? We need... the benzene and the hot air. Hot air is first, followed by benzene. Okay, hot air and then benzene. Is it? No, it's not hot air. What am I thinking? It's the stainless steel and then the benzene. Our stainless steel at super steel. Our benzene at super steel. And our hot air at super steel. Let's get these thingies brought in. Hot air, benzene, stainless steel, molten. Okay. You know, that benzene, I am considering switching to kerosene. I'll be completely honest. I am considering a switch to kerosene as a primary source of fuel here, of fluid fuels. I mean, yeah, I get that the benzene is a build that I can place anywhere to have like 100 benzene per second, but you know, I'm making 1,000 kerosene in a much smaller footprint than 1,000 benzene, right? Like, my kerosene, thanks to the power of phytomining, like, this is a much smaller footprint to make 1,000 kerosene than this footprint. Actually, really, with Mark IIs, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, like 1,000. It's like that much of a footprint to make 1,000, if it's all Mark II. Yeah, make 1,000 of the benzene, and you also end up with 1,000 aromatics as well. So it's like, huh. I mean, yeah, we're not looking at the entire thing because it is eating up a few units of the Moondrop and Kickalk. But even if you added like the few units of both of those into this, it's still going to be smaller. Like, it's still going to be smaller. So, yeah. Very much considering the kerosene, especially because it has a fuel value of 1.5 megajoules as opposed to the benzene, which is 1 megajoule. It uses less fuel overall for my purposes. But I don't think it's something that I'm going to bother, like, changing my builds for. Like, going back and retrofitting, changing benzene to kerosene. I don't think that's going to be a good use of my time, even if it is ever so slightly more efficient to do that switch. Either way, benzene is free, and kerosene is free. It's just future builds I need to keep in mind. Hey, use kerosene rather than using benzene in the future, because I have the kerosene to spare. Eventually I'll have gasoline to spare, but not for now. Okay, let's get the hot air brought in. I'm going to bring it in from way over yonder. Using, of course, the multi-purpose pipes for the distance, and using the niobium pipes now for the short distance stuffs. Just because I absolutely despise how the multi-purpose pipes look overall. I absolutely hate how these look. Been saying that since the day they got introduced. I do not like these pipes at all. And wouldn't you know it, we now have super steel. Ta-da! The super steel! I'll take the soup. I'll take the soup. Supply super steel. Big buffer super steel. Very nice at the end of that list. Very easy spot to find it. S, or D, excuse me, super steel. There you go. Save that. Get the locomotive. And I am, in fact, now technically making 5 per second of my super steel. I think this is the first base I have made where I have made 5 per second of super steel at initial capacity. think every other time I've done this, it's just existent. It's always started as just existent super steel and not... I literally pushed W to get off the track to prevent this from happening. But I guess I wasn't fast enough. 10 deaths at this point. All right, where was that again? Here. Hey, train, could you come pick me up again? That'd be great. Yeah, that would be nice. Then I have to go back and pick up my stuff. Toss another pistol into trash. There you are. Took you a minute. All right, get back down there. Pick up my stuff. Yep, my fingers just didn't react fast enough to get out of the way. I was just thinking to myself, get out of the way. Hey you, Dolly. What you doing with that leg? That leg is pushing on the back of my neck. Yeah, Merle. I know, Miss Morel. Are we here? Yes. Okay, you there, you there. And that's that? Yes, that would be that. We are done with our super steel. Huzzah! Next up is to work towards super alloy. Now, I don't think I have the breakdown for super alloy in here. At least not visible. So for super alloy, I want to get at least 5 of that as well. Guess I'll switch this to kerosene so that I don't forget. Which one of these is kerosene? That one. Of course, it's at the very end of the list. Great. Let's see. Do I have enough production of stuff for you? Great question. Probably not. But, you know, well, we'll see. Probably not on the nickel, I would say, of any of this. I have 2 red belts of nickel, so I think I'm okay. I have 3 red belts of nickel. I think I am, in fact, okay. Yes, I have 90 nickel plates per second. I think I'm fine. Oh yeah, this is what I didn't even pay any attention. This is 150 molten nickel provided onto the train network from 4 red belts of ore in. This is processing all of that into plates, 3 red belts of plates in its own dedicated build with another 4 belts of ore in. This is why I have not considered doing high grade nickel, because, you know, I've got frickin' 3 red belts of nickel plates plus a whole bunch of molten being provided, even though I need more molten. So yeah, the only thing we need here, 71.5, really? How much benzene would that have been? 100. Wow, you do use quite a lot of stuff. That's why we need 4 of them there. The other thing we need here is helium. We need helium. So, how are we going to get helium? My plan for helium was to obtain it by processing regolite. However, I don't get regolite processing until purple science. Very, very sadly. The regolith mining only comes at purple science. So, since we're not there yet, we have to figure out another way of getting into helium. And my thought is Factorio. I'm thinking the gas bladders. I don't know about you, but I think gas bladders. Gas bladders to make the rich gas, and then process that into helium. Now this is going to make 50 helium. As you notice, I only need 7.2. So we're gonna do this. I'm going to need the buildings for it. I don't need any casting units, but I will need some gas processing units. I will need some compressors to compress. I have the DDCs. I have the gas refineries. I will need slaughterhouses as well. And that should be the infrastructure that I need, because I've got gas refineries and I've got destructive distillation columns already. That should be that. I need the full stack of compressors. So yeah, remember, I have 7.5 fact knots. You're asking for a alternative to the gas bladders for the rich gas. The other normal ways, there are two, but I think at this phase of the game, I think there's just one actually. Let me check that. Liquid oh, really? Petroleum. Where is the liquid petroleum? Here. So yeah, in helium processing tech that we currently have access to, you can obtain helium through a longer processing chain by producing this liquefied petroleum gas. You take petroleum gas and gasoline to make the liquid version of it, and that will process into gas stream with activated carbon. The gas stream processes with filtration media into dry gas stream. The dry gas stream, where do you process? You process with ethanolamine into highly purified gas with carbon dioxide as well as a byproduct. That highly purified is then processed into rich gas and helium rich gas. And then from there you get rich gas to liquid rich to helium rich to crude helium, and crude helium to helium. That's the liquid petroleum method. There is another method involving clean air, cold clean air, and processing that into a liquid clean air, and that into a dry gas stream, as well as a tiny bit of helium. This is a very inefficient process, but it doesn't really involve that many outside inputs. I think it's a little bit of biofilm and a little bit of activated carbon, but it's massive to get any amounts of helium. It's really not meant as your primary helium method. Then there's calcinets, which is what you get from regolith, but you can actually just get helium from stone and or gravel as well, because this will give you dry gas stream. The calcinets don't process. It's like you're converting stone into dry gas stream on here, and you can continue the chain from there. It's also not particularly efficient. But for my purposes, I'll be going the route of Fagnot gas bladders. It saves me from even having to make the ethanolamine by going straight into rich gas. So, the eternal question, where do we put it? What are my inputs? There is exactly two. There are two inputs for this. That makes things simple. Just need the fag nuts and the gasoline and enough doohickeys. Cages. To keep the system going. Okay, you've got cages there, so let me go over there and grab some. Yeah, it's okay with gas bladders, but what I wanted to do in the long term for helium was to go the calcinant route, or go the regolite route. You've just discovered animal raising using fetal serum? Well, congratulations. You have found the most efficient way of making animals in the game. Of raising creatures in the game. If you want adult creatures, that's the way to do it. It is 100% worth the expense. 100% of the time for making the fetal serum. You will want to build out the immense amount of infrastructure for silver to sustain the fetal serum, and the infrastructure for the guts for the fetal serum as well, to maintain doing these processes. Basically, every animal in my entire base at this point in time is doing raising from cubs, or hatching of eggs and then raising the cubs, or just straight up hatching from eggs. I mean, the Vrauk in particular don't even need fetal serum to hatch Vrauk eggs into full-fledged Vrauk. Like, it's incredible. You just throw the eggs in with cages and just add water, and you get the Vrauk. No fetal serum required. Like, excuse me? And then it doubles your output. And then it doubles your output once you have access to growth hormones. Like, excuse me? Yes, and you get the extra cages out of nothing. You violate the laws of thermodynamics because of productivity gains. Thanks to this system giving you productivity on the creature chamber in particular. On the creature chamber, giving you 40% productivity, and then anything that uses the incubator gets another 22% productivity, just baseline. It's nuts. But hey, free cages. Where do you think I just got my cages? My cages that I just grabbed were free cages. Magicked out of thin air. Vrauks do not require fetal serum. They require water only. It is the only creature that does not require the fetal serum to hatch the eggs / raise the pups. 'Tis the only one. Oh boy, I picked a wonderful spot to build this factory. Such a wonderful spot with all of these trees. Thank God for termite bots. Destroy all the trees. Eat up all of my ammo. I will absolutely spend all of my current termite ammo on killing these trees. I must kill these trees. They are the enemy. Alright, how are we doing? I think that's the last of my termite ammo. Right there. Yes, what a nice jungle that is, yes. Thank you, game, for spawning a wonderful forest. Such a nice forest that needs to go away. I have a factory to build. I don't need this much space for the factory, but still, I hate trees. And I'm now out of the ammo. Great. Wonderful. Factory, hi. I need you at this point. I need one of these to be replaced. Put a pin on that. I need you to be these. Excuse me. There you go. Ahem. Stuff. Things. Okay. Start with the freebie. Excuse me. Go there. Neopipes. Power. There we go. Okay. You. Fagnots in. Cages in. Cages. There we go. Get. I actually have to take out my ammo now. Great job. Great job. So the problem with nanobots, as I've mentioned several times at this point, is that the way that the building upgrades are implemented is through the use of a beacon entity that is placed when you place the building down. And that beacon has a module that is put into it that, is the module of whatever tech that you picked here. And it only will work on this building. However, nanobots don't trigger the creation of that hidden beacon entity. So if I use a nanobot to place a slaughterhouse, it's not going to gain the productivity bonus. So that when a nanobot placed this one, you can see this one does not have any productivity bonus. These ones have a 20% productivity bonus. Just one of those quirks with nanobots that the mod author will absolutely say, hey, not my fault. You got to code this in the specific way for the nanobots to work. I'm like, but nanobots is your mod. Why do other mods have to add nanobot compatibility? Shouldn't nanobots be compatible with the building of things? You know? Because I think that the way that the nanobots work is that when you use them to fill in a ghost entity, I think it's triggering a like a repair flag, not like a building has been created flag or like initial creation of the building. It's sort of like it seems like it's like repairing or resurrecting, reviving the entity as if it was destroyed and it's coming back from that ghost entity. But that's not triggering whatever the script is looking for that adds that beacon. It's not the same like flag that's being raised when the building is being placed, something along those lines. Which could be fixed if the script in PyMods was actually looking for the event as well that gets raised when a building is placed with nanobots, but oh well, it's not like that for now. So that's the gas bladders getting made. let's get these gas refineries going. 1, 2, and 3. I will note that gas bladders can be directly converted into helium, but that is going to require a lot more of the Pyandons. To get 50 helium out, I think it's like more than 2, like 2.5-ish Pyandons to go directly into helium. And all that it saves is like 50 gasoline. So it's like, no. Like, nah. I will spend the gasoline rather than many times more on the Pyandons. Okay, that's that one taken care of. Next, we have to compress. Oh. I never pay attention. I'm going to need cooling towers. I never pay attention. So these will produce steam, and I don't want to cheese getting rid of the steam on this playthrough. Not anymore, anyway. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using cooling towers to convert the steam back to water and then dumping the water. But it gives you it gives me more, actually, steam out than water in, because I'm using productivity modules here. Cough, 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 infinite water, cough, 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 cough. Infinite water on demand. No one cares outside of baby Pyandon. How about it giving you infinity water? Oh noes. Oh noes, I got infinity water in 2 separate steps here. Please God, don't take away my productivity. Yeah, let's move that over here. I mean, I get it, it's violating the laws of thermodynamics, but you don't have to care about that when it's just water. They sure didn't care about it with the cages. Ahem. They sure didn't care about conservation of mass and energy with magical creation of cages. So we're going to use that logic against them for everything else where that happens going forward, right? I've lost where I was. Where was I here? There we go. Alright, so we are waiting on the cooling towers, primarily. Just, it's all I need. Don't really need to do any other restock here. Just, it's gonna happen just because I'm here. Bring me the cooling towers, please. I need those. I need them for 2 steps. That needs to get rid of the steam. But yeah, if I wasn't using productivity modules here, it's 1-to-1 water to steam out, which would cool down to the same amount of water again, and you can have a closed loop system that doesn't need any input of water. In this case, though, it's actually going to overproduce on the water, and you would need to vent it anyway. you would need to remove it anyway from the system, some of it, excess amounts. So I'm just going to dump it to begin with. I use a water on demand mod. Pyandons mods itself has a means of getting water on demand without a separate mod, um, through the use of pump jacks. You can use pump jacks to get water. That was added a long time ago. Wasn't initially part of the mod set, but after I pointed out, hey, we could really use some water on demand, like that I was going to always use water on demand going forward, Pyandon just decided, let's just add a recipe uh, to the pump jacks that you can place anywhere. And it's fine, it works. It's glorious. Wonderful stuffs. Alright, give me this. It's a little slow, though. That's my only complaint, is that it's just a little bit slow. We're gonna have to deal with 714. Oh boy. 2 and 3. Let's move this actually an extra tile out. And pitfall. Sinkhole! Go, 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 sinkhole. Be free, do the things. Alright, next up, I need gasoline. This is interesting. Ahem. It just fits. May as well pull in the Factorio as well. Our gasoline at Helium. Our Factorio at Helium. My total production of gasoline at the moment, as a reminder, is 100 units per second. That is grand total. Which, it's not enough in the grand scheme of how much I'll need, but it's enough for now. I'm not really using the gasoline for mining uranium anymore through the Megamine uranium. So I have that savings. Really the only stuff eating up gasoline right now is liquid nitrogen. I think that's really the only use of gasoline. I think there's one other use for cumene somewhere. Something like that. There was something that was using gasoline. Not that one. I know liquid nitrogen is. I think I have a condensate distillate going into something, or there was some light oil refinery I thought that was using this stuff. Coulda sworn somewhere was a light oil refinery doing something with gasoline. Might be mistaken. I don't remember. I've done too many factories. Way too many factories to be keeping track of every single thing that I've ever done, every single building that I've ever placed. Way too much stuff. I've got a pretty good idea, but I don't remember every little detail of every little factory that I've ever made in this base. Anyway, that is flowing and making me some liquid-rich gas. The liquid-rich gas. Yeah, we'll do that. Because you actually produce water to void. Oh, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if we already had a way of voiding water? Ahem. Wouldn't that be nice? Those go there, and that solves this little puzzle. Okay, and that's going to... Huh? That's going to make me some helium-rich gas. We then need to compress yet again. Compressors compress. With more gasoline. Pretty much the same idea here with the setup. Water in, gasoline in. There we go. Gasoline in. And you make 370, so I'm going to need 2 of these. And there we go. We now have the crude helium, the crudest of helium. And that will leave us with 4 wonderful gas processing units at the very end to take in hydrogen and helium. And it's gonna make water and helium. And there we go. Hydrogen up here. Go, go, go. This is over distance. I don't think it matters too much, but you know, the point. Gotta stick with the point of these multi-purpose pipes, even though they look like trash by comparison to the niobium pipes. Alright, and wouldn't it be really nice if we had a way of killing that water, huh? There we go. Actually, don't even need this thing for the water, because I'm pretty sure that this would work. Maybe not. That throughput's pretty high. We have 714.5 on this guy, voiding consistently, technically. And this one's another 370.4. So we'll leave it as is. All right, now this station, the supply station, this needs to supply a fluid. So let's find some other fluid supply station. Gotta have one around here somewhere. Supplying fluids. Who is supplying a fluid? Down here, you are supplying a fluid. So let's copy. Excuse me. Paste. I'm not voiding the water on the DDCs. Oh. Missed a pipe. Like, but I know I put the thing there to do the thing. Yeah, that one. Missed one pipe. Don't worry, I would have been going through to make sure it was all moving anyway. I always double check. I'll always double, triple check that everything is actually performing. There's so many little errors like that I tend to make in these. It's usually at least one. Between either missing a pipe somewhere or not thinking correctly about the throughput of specific bits of belt. Always double check to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So things like, why are you overproducing on your rich gas? Like, why are you not using all of it? Is there a problem? Or is it just the nature of this that it is, in fact, overproducing? It's like, have I missed a building? Yes, I have. I'm supposed to have 3 DDCs, and not 2. Ahem. I'm supposed to have 3 of the destructive distillation columns in here. Just as an example, sometimes I miss things, like an entire building. So that was 3 on you, 2 on you, 4 on you, and that should be good now. So this will supply helium, and this will be the depot for helium. Because we're only dealing with 50 units per second on the helium, it's a rather low throughput system. We're not going to wait for the full cargo on this. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a full cargo or fluid helium. Greater than or equal to whatever 50 times 150 is 7,500 units. Auto magic. And then don't forget to define. And define helium. 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 Ta-da! We are done. Let's stop requesting those things. Head back to the mall. Just to get a general restock. And then from there, it's the super alloy. Ta-da-da! Hello, super alloy. In fact, I believe, because I now have super steel... Oh, boy, I now have super steel. Super steel! Yes. Super steel. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Super steel. Yes, you. Come here. Because I now have super steel, I can now, and will, be able to upgrade my logistic robots to Mark II logistic robots. The only ingredient that remained was super steel. I have everything else, but now that I have super steel, I now have upgraded robots. Glorious, beautiful stuff. The upgraded robots are faster. They look worse, but they are faster and better than the Mark 1s. Yeah, these things are just like big beige boxes that fly through the sky. Honestly, the sausage bots look better than the beige boxes. Of course, the high-tech bots look the best. It's just gonna be a while before we get high-tech bots, and yeah, I'm gonna have to enable a mod that will allow me to pull out the 4,329 Mark 1 logistic bots to replace them with the Mark 2s. Because, you know, we we have a few bots in here to replace. Because these are faster, I don't need as many, and I see only about 1,000 bots are active, 1,300 bots are active right now. That changes depending on what is being made, but yeah. Anyway, super alloy. Our next ingredient. What is super alloy going to immediately unlock upon obtaining it? I don't think anything at this point. Super alloy, I don't believe, is the final ingredient for whatever we need to make or want to make. Because everything else, or everything that super alloy makes that we currently have access to, is going to need other ingredients that we don't have yet. So let's just keep this in mind going forward, that even though it is going to be a requirement to get into blue belts, which I'd very much like to get blue belts because I can immediately get ultra fast belts once I have my blue belts. Can I even get the ultra fast belts on the splitters, though? I don't think I can get the splitters. Oh, I can. Really? I must not be able to get the loaders. Ultra fast. I can get the loaders. Excellent. So the ultra fast belts move things at 90 items per second. They move at 90. It's the next upgrade that needs the high-tech circuit boards, which by then I'll have, because that needs the production science ish. I probably won't, depending on how I do things, but whatever. High-tech boards, circuit 3s, to get those splitters, but this moves 135. Not the most useful speed. 180 is a more useful speed, and since that's what the tech will get me to, this is what I'll go with at that point, going from 90 to 180, another times 3. And then utility science will come and I'll have, 270 per second belts. Just casually, 270 items per second. Okay. This build, again, just like last time, will need to switch off for bitumen rather than sand castings. I don't really need to break down. Excuse me? Why did you do that? Oh, probably because I wasn't actually clicked in here. There we go. Yeah, I don't really need to break down the entire process because I won't be paying attention to the building counts. I'm going to be placing down a blueprint that will let me do this. It'll overproduce on the sand castings, but I don't particularly care. It's a standardized build at this point. I will need to see the limestone, though. The limestone count. That one is important. Anything else? No. No, so we're looking at 4 fluids, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 fluids, and this is accurate now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and sand. Oh boy, that doesn't need to be shown up here. So yeah, this is nice. This is nicer than super steel, actually. Grand scheme of things. It's a smaller, um, it's a smaller train station. It's actually a smaller train station. And you know, a lot of the stuff is the same. But no, I'll have a unique build for this. I'm not going to copy the train station, but I sort of just want to keep in mind the size. Because I'm going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solids. Oh, I'm gonna run out of rail, and I didn't put any in my train. And then how many of these are there again? Didn't I break down water already? Probably don't have matrix solver. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just a little bit of rail here. The build directly above this is the Mark II pesticides. This build is not going to be growing particularly much, considering this infrastructure is 15 per second already of the Mark II pesticides. Even if I double it, well, I have room to double it there, and I have room off to the side as well. I could quadruple that amount and be fine. And that's all Mark II infrastructure. As we go along, I'll have even better infrastructure. It's like things will tend to get smaller, ideally, as time goes on. Well, so I claim, but really, what's going to end up happening is that some factories might get smaller. Other factories will output more and may end up even larger with better Mark level buildings. But I know that a lot of the alien life stuff will tend to go down, most likely. Some of it depends on how much more scale I want. Yeah, and I will need to get more rail. So let's go get more rail. Back again. Give rail. Give the rail. Must get the rail. Oh, and do I have the... Yes, I have the tar processing units. Just needed to make absolutely certain that I actually had the things that I need. Blueprints. Where is my blueprint? There you are. That's not the blueprint. That is. Plonk. I'm going to cut this and tighten that up, and then swap everything to niobium pipes. That is the sand castings done. Then I have this guy. This guy is sand. And then just 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da. All right, that's the back end of the factory. You know what? Start restocking the vehicle, please. Vehicle needs rail too. Just a little bit. And then oh, it's my mortal enemy. The trees. The trees are here. Oh no. Doink, doink, doink. Is this the first time I think this is the first time I have made super alloy with the smelters. Hello and welcome. I am streaming a little bit later than I usually am on this day because of some internet issues earlier. Not really issues, it was just maintenance, but the guys didn't actually say when maintenance was going to be. My ISP. They said it would be today, and that it would last up to 4 hours of the internet being down. Well, as it turns out, the internet was down for an hour. It came back. It then went down again for a little bit, and again for a little bit. Yeah. At no point in any of the communications did they mention that, oh, hey, it will go down multiple times. Every single bit of the wording was that it would go down once. And when it comes back, it's back. And it could be down for up to 4 hours while it's down. So, yeah, I started streaming today because at my usual time, thinking, oh, hey, the maintenance is done now. It was not done now. Yeah. So the first part of today's stream is just, it ends rather abruptly. And then for whatever reason, YouTube, even if I'm using the desktop version of YouTube on my phone, like on Chrome on the phone, it won't load the YouTube Studio live page for me to actually end the stream. It won't let me end the stream from my phone at all. So it's like, okay. People sitting there for 20 minutes or more with just infinite loading screen and the thing's not turning off. Because I have it set to where I have to actually push the big red button to end the stream. You know, just in case we get a blip that puts me offline. Because I don't want the stream to end for just a blip, but it was more than just a blip today. Ahem. Yeah, and then the actual speeds were dodgy for a bit. It was not kind. Not kind. Today for the service. Fortunately, we're going to be getting a actual fiber service coming into the area at some point within the next 2 years. Ahem. Another company is finally coming in and laying down fiber optic and will be providing fiber internet, gigabit internet service to this area. Because right now, Cox is like the only true high-speed internet provider for my entire city. Basically for the entire city. Specifically in my area. I mean, technically we have Verizon here, but it's their DSL service and not their Fios service. Every city around my city has Verizon Fios service, But they have refused to enter into my city, despite constant complaints and requests at various administrative levels to come in and put service into the city. It's just not happening. But we now have this new service. It's called MetroNet. They're coming in and have begun actually working on adding in fiber to the city. Unfortunately, they're not working on my area yet, but soon, TM, soon we shall have the glorious and wonderful gigabit service. And that gigabit service will be cheaper than Cox's, and will be a symmetrical service, which Cox does not provide in my area. Oh, we can do gigabit service, but it's not symmetrical gigabit service in my area with the Cox Gigablast. So it's gigabit down, but it's not that much up. Let me tell you, it's only like 10 or 15 megabit up or something like that. I think or maybe it's 30. I don't know. I haven't even looked at it because I didn't care. It's like I'm pretty sure it's a downgrade from what I have now for the upload rate. We can't even buy the service that I currently am using right now anymore because they changed the plan. Right now the plan is a 300 megabit up or down, 300 megabit down and 30 megabit up. At least that's what it's supposed to be. They've changed the plan to be 500 down and 10 up. And they're trying to get us to change that plan to get us off of the 330. But I need the 30. Like, I need more than 10. Like, I'm not going to a plan that has less than what I have now. That's not happening. I'm not going to pay for a downgrade on the upload rate. Ugh. It's not really me paying, but whatever, you get the point. Why did I do that on those three? Because this one is going to be further away as it's the bitumen input. The ultimate point is that the MetroNet service will be cheaper overall. Even though I don't think I would want their gigabit service. It's a bit much for what we need for our purposes in this house. But their lowest service is a 200 symmetrical, 200 megabit symmetrical connection, like up and down, which yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'd be willing to sacrifice 100 megs down to get, 10, not quite 10, but close enough, 7 plus times the upload rate. Wouldn't need to worry about my bit rate then. Ah, boy. Our bitumen at super alloy. That bitumen. And then what is each of these? I don't even know. The one on the left, helium, kerosene, and hot air. Our helium at super alloy. Our kerosene at super alloy. And our hot air at super alloy. All right, helium. Kerosene. Where's kerosene? I don't know. Kerosene. Raw ores, really? Okay. And hot air. The hottest of the hot air. And then let's see. That should be 8, right? Yeah. Get that pin back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, buddy. Wait, did I really? Yes. I really, yes. Ahem. Yeah, I did that. I did that thing. This is why I don't break this down. This is why I don't break this down in the thingy. Ahem. We're better. We're good again. Ay. Do I really want to have... Don't have a choice. I need to do this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belts plus an output. 5 input belts plus an output. What is the throughput per building on these? Is there anything I need to... Oh, yeah, nickel. Oh, nickel. Oh, boy. Right. Well, that complicates everything. Well, I'm pretty sure I want that. That much I know. That much I absolutely am well aware of. And that is a prime position for that inserter. I only needed to do 1 per second. I'm sure that can work out for the 1 per second on you, and that I'll place this one in that spot all the way down the line. That's fine. Or we'll do that because I'm going to want to have this be the nickel. Yeah, I know. I need another. I need another belt. Two belts of nickel. Ahem. 2 belts of nickel. Yeah, that'll be a thing. The rest of this is basically what it needs to be. Yeah, I'm not sure where I want the inserters exactly, because I'm going to need probably that there. That will work. What is the... Or what can I put here? Am I worried about the throughput of anything? Just as long as I don't have it as chromium, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, just as long as that's not chromium, I don't have to add another inserter, like here or here. I do have the space to add another inserter if I need to. All right, that will cover that. Okay, here. That will do. Much easier on this side. Power to the everything. Now let's get things brought in, shall we? So we have that as nickel, this as shared 1, shared 2, shared 3. Whoops. And an unshared, we're gonna have one other one that's gonna be by itself because of the nickel being alone. Probably the chromium. Yeah, chromium on one of these inside belts. Yeah, that'll be that. So this first thing will be a shared belt. That'll be by itself as the chromium. This will be a shared belt. This will be a shared belt. And that'll be the nickel right up there. Okay. Shared belt 1. You are Nexlet at super alloy. And you are fuel rods at super alloy. Whoops, give me fuel rod Mark 1. Really? Okay. Nexlet. Like, really, it's not on its way immediately. Huh. Where was I making those again? Here. Ah, it's on its way. It is actually on the way now. You are requesting chromium at super alloy. Bring on the chromium. You request Mu3 at super alloy. You are request vanadium at super alloy. You are request cobalt oxide at super alloy. You are request aramid at super alloy. Ahem. Alloy. You are request nickel at super alloy. And you need to be red outputs. Okay. Logistics. Glorious and beautiful logistics. Let's not die either. That would be sad. Getting hit by train. Because this is dangerous territory. Alright, up we go. Ahem. You. Molybdenum trioxide. And you are a vanadium pentoxide. You there. You are cobalt oxide. Where is that? Probably in here. Yep. Cobalt oxide and aramid. There you are. And then both of these belts are the nickel. Bring me the nickel. All of the nickel. Must have all of it. There we go. Once everything arrives, that should be that. My base is dangerous. Have I mentioned my base is dangerous? Well. Let's finish setting this up. S super alloy. D super alloy. Super alloy. Supply. Excuse me? The fuck? I don't know why that happens sometimes. Full cargo. Circuit ignition. It like tries to go there. And it's like, am I pushing some other like button? Because I wanted to add it just as a station, not as a temporary move order. Like, huh? It's been doing that lately. Now where does super alloy live? Great question. Fusion. Scroll. Super alloy save. Done! Alright, what you got? What you missing? Nickel? How are you missing nickel? I never added nickel plates too? I did. What? Did I not define the nickel? Oh. Ahem. There we go. Now the nickel should be on its way. Yes, 2 of them are on their way. Thank you for bringing me my glorious, beautiful amounts of nickel. Here it comes. Once it arrives, all the way down here, we shall have our super alloy, and everything will be awesome. Actually, nothing will actually change at all, but we'll have it. Ow. Crack. Crack of the back. Does that not mean the only thing I have left for special small parts is Aerogel? I mean, I need the Nenbit Oh, I need the nano. Yeah, there's a few things to get into special small parts. Hmm. Shall we aerogel next? We have some time. I think we shall aerogel next. I want like 5 at least. Maybe not. Ahem. Maybe not. It's not so bad, but ugh, the resin, the melamine. Really? I mean, that's a lot of casein. But when casein is just milk? That's tempting. Hmm. Sure. Man, I need the urea. Not keen on spending the manure. I mean, not keen on spending blood either, but at least 0.2 Muckmo is reasonable compared to having to spend any amounts of Zogna ever. Because, I mean, by comparison, the Zogna would be, it's not much. It's 1 manure. Alright, I'll stick with the manure. The manure is something I am also planning. I have a plan to do manure from Muckmo, a lot of it. The only things here are that I need the quality food, and that to get into enough quality food for the amount of the manure that I want, I'm going to need to double my Renea and my Tufra. Yeah, I'm going to need to scale my Renea and Tufra. In fact, this is part of a larger plan that I plan on doing at some point between one of my stream setup days. Is yeah, converting manure to Muckmo by doubling Tufra, doubling Renea, but the Renea needs Yadles, so I'll plan on expanding the Yadles, and this needs a ton of starch, so I need to like massively expand my starch, which in turn is going to mean needing a lot more sodium sulfate. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff. We are officially making my super alloy, the glorious super alloy. It only stacks to 50? Ahem. Get more. Aerogel. Do I need aerogel for anything outside the mall? Potentially, yes. In fact, 100% yes. So I will want to make the aerogel on the train network. So that's fine as it is. Am I going to build it today? Good question. I don't know. Let's just word it as I don't want to, but I may anyway. Do I need the resource and all for anything else? Epoxy. But I'll worry about that when I get to epoxy. I mean, I can do this. At least work on it together. So let's go ahead and start. Get to the mall and stock up on stuff I need. Gonna work towards Aerogel, and if I don't finish, then I don't finish, and we'll work on it on Thursday. I don't know what I'm gonna do between streams. Exactly between now and then. I wanted to actually think about taking a little bit of a break from all the stuff that I've been doing between streams. I mean, we don't really have a pressing need for any new stuff that I would feel comfortable doing off screen, like the new creature stuff, because I'm not working on the great samples yet. So I don't really need all of them at this point. Yeah, it'll depend on what I'm working on when I'll need them. For now, it's just I think we're okay. We're going to be working towards special small parts next. Also, how many of these things have I made? 400s. In the 400 range. That's excellent. Absolutely glorious. Beautiful amounts. Ah. Glorious. These go at whatever that is. 28.1 plus 21.1. Versus these that are 17.3 plus 13. So these go 30.3 kilometers per hour. These go 23.4 plus 17.55. These goes 40. These goes 40.95, so they're ever so slightly faster. That's a pretty good speed bump. They also carry 5 as opposed to 4, so they carry an extra item and are faster. And I would hope they have a larger battery, but I don't think that is taken into consideration anywhere. It's not a displayed statistic. Yeah, so I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to end things off here. Yeah, I think I'm going to end things off here. We've gotten through and finished the Super Steel, Helium, and Super Alloy. And I need to, I need to step away. So we're going to end things off here. The next time we meet, we'll do Aerogel. And the next time we meet will be at the usual time, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern time for 3 hours. And we'll work on this. We'll work on getting into the special small parts, and we will continue from there as I work towards getting production science, which, yeah, is going to mean that I'm going to need Vonix, which means I'm going to need great alien samples at some point. But I think part of the next big thing on the agenda is getting into bio batteries and getting into like circuit threes, those two things, big things. Yeah, and like paramagnetic material and all that sort of stuff for the alien enzymes, and just oof. Yeah, so much stuff still to do. With that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching today. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushiba if you're so inclined and able. I will be back on Thursday. I hope to see you all then.